Right, so I'm Freedom Dad, 73 on YouTube, and I'm a citizen journalist and a patriot, an activist who's been doing this for a long time. This is somewhere where I stay. I'm from East Belfast, but Bangor's very close to my heart. These guys here that you see here have been here for 2.5 years, over 2.5 years now, through rain, snow, sleet, the lot, every Friday at 7 o'clock. And it's not just about this hotel here. It's about every hotel in Northern Ireland. This is the thing. A lot of people say, oh, they move the men out, they put women in. They move the men out, they put women out to try and make these guys look bad for standing here. But the thing is, these guys aren't standing here about this hotel and the women in this hotel. They're standing here for every hotel in Northern Ireland and any man that comes into this country illegally, undocumented, without the consent of the natives. And we understand the decline in birth rate, and we know what's going on. You know what I mean? We've got a decline in birth rate. We know why we've got a decline in birth rate. There's reasons and there's solutions to all the problems. We know why they're saying they're doctors and engineers, because they're not paying our doctors and engineers enough money, so they're going into other countries, so they're bringing in cheaper labour. And we know why they're here to do the jobs we don't want, because they won't pay us the money to clean toilets and look after human beings, so they bring in cheap labour again. Cheap labour is not the answer. The answer is to pay the citizens that are born and bred in this country, great grannies and granddads and all the rest, they have the right money for the jobs that are most difficult in this country. And you know, you cannot get away from the fact that there is replacement going on in Great Britain right now. And like my analogy of it is, if you take away the salt and replace it with the pepper, it's replacement. In England, they're replacing. There's towns that used to be English towns and cities that are now unrecognisable as English towns and cities. So that's replacement. We don't want that here. We don't want Rotherham here. We don't want Rochdale here. We don't want Luton here. We don't want Halifax here. We don't want Pakistani rape gangs here. We don't want none of that. We don't want any of the abuse that's going on in England coming to here. We don't want any of the abuses in Ireland coming to here. And that's why these guys are here. They're here to stop, or to try and stop, with whatever power we have, because we're up against the mighty government, and the mighty government are saying, we're putting refugees in here, we're putting immigration, mass immigration, they're fighting AIDS men, they're coming from countries that have got conscription. These guys have got weapons training. They leave school, and I think it's about 70% of the countries that these men are coming have got weapons training. They've went through basic training. A lot of people are saying they're here to police us. Other people are saying that they're here UN soldiers or whatever. It's worrying. We need to, when we're talking about NATO soldiers and we're talking about them coming to police us, that's scary. That just the fact that people are talking about that, and we're still not getting any answers of why they're truly here. Why Northern Ireland? Why England? There's 55 Muslim countries all around the world. Why here? Doesn't make any sense. 6 counties in Northern Ireland, the 6 counties of Ulster. We've had problems in this country with religion between Protestants and Catholics for the last 60 years, and we're just getting over that. And now they're pushing Islam in here, and we're not ready for it. We don't want it. Enough is enough, and we need our borders shut before something horrific happens in our country like Southport. No problem, mate.